So we talk a little bit about discipline. One of the things we need to do is set a standard, which means that we're going to talk to our dens and explain to them what the standard is of how they need to be, how they need to act in camp, and what is acceptable and what is not acceptable behavior. After we establish a standard, we're going to be consistent. And what that means is that we're not going to apply one rule to one set of youth and then apply a completely different set of rules to another. So not showing favorites. Oftentimes, it's providing an alternate activity. The kids are just not interested in something and they start misbehaving, so an alternate activity can be a good way to wrangle them back in. We also want to reward good behavior. A good idea also is to implement a 3-strike procedure, which we have done at camp. The first strike is they'll talk to the den guide. Den guide will deal with the issue, try to get corrected behavior. The den guide should in turn notify the parents and the director that they have done this. Next offense is the camp director. Camp director will talk to the youth, maybe take them off to the side and then let them sit in the arena for a little bit to cool down. They'll also notify the parents and let them know that this is the second time they've had to talk to their son or daughter. After that, we're at the potentially removing the scout from camp. This is the last resort. We absolutely don't want to do this, but oftentimes it's the only way to do it. So we don't like doing it, but if we have to, we will remove a youth from camp, whether it be for the day or the remainder of the camp, depending upon the actions that have occurred. What all of this leads up to is that the parents need to be involved every step of the way. Nothing is worse than going through all 3 of these steps, and then the parents have no idea this has been going on in camp, and suddenly the director staff is calling and saying, your son or daughter is coming home, you need to come pick them up because they are no longer welcome in camp for blah reasons. So we don't want to have that happen. Now, you as adult leaders, we also want to make sure that you understand that there's a dress code. You need to wear your camp T-shirt, name tag. Kids should be doing that as well. Not name tags, though, but their camp shirt. There are male and female restrooms for adults. There are male and female restrooms for youth. Make sure that you as an adult are only using the adult bathrooms and that youth are only using the youth bathrooms. There is a no smoking policy on any BSA activity, especially in camp. You're not allowed to smoke. If you do need to smoke, you will need to take a break and walk outside the camp property out of sight of scouts to do that. Also, in addition to that, all youth volunteers and adult volunteers sign a Scouter's Code of Conduct. This is a very common thing. You can find it on our website. It outlines what is expected of you as far as following in with the Scout Oath and Law. I highly recommend you read it. You will need to sign it as an adult leader before you can work in camp. Thanks.